Hi, I'm Chef Alan from Chef Alan's in Miami. Today I'd like to share my passion for mangoes with you. Today we're going to do a very interesting take on mangoes because we're going to look at the ripenesses of each of the mangoes. To start off with, I've got some mangoes that are diced up over here, and these mangoes are unripe. They're from the outside, it does not have any give to it. These mangoes in front of me here are ripe. They're ripe, they have a little bit of squeeze to it, and they really work very well in a lot of recipes. Then you also have them very ripe, where they're kind of soft, not mushy, but soft, and a lot of give to it. That's great too, and I want to show you how to utilize that. And also we're going to look at spices. So this whole test today, this whole flavor profile, is all about spices and ripeness. To start off with this, we have 3 bowls of unripe mangoes. Each are diced so that it's the same mango, but I want to apply some different flavors to it, okay? So that to begin with, I'm going to start off with some salt and some lemon. So it's real simple. You can do this right there in your kitchen. You can join me as I'm doing this. A little bit of salt and lemon, and just going to mix that together. Okay, and going to give that a taste because this is what it's all about. You got to taste the mango. You got to enjoy this mango. This unripe mango is delicious. The flavors with adding the salt and the lemon bring up a lot of nuances of the mango. It enhances the tartness of it. It has a lot of crunch to it, which also makes it very interesting in your mouth, so that there's a lot of flavor coming out of a mango. And what I'd like to do now is look at the couple different ways of adding different spices as well as this. So I'm going to take some lime onto our next bowl, as well as a little bit of chili powder. Okay, and with the chili powder, going to mix that. Get cleaned up here a sec. Okay, so this is the unripe mango, and this is a sensory tasting. So we're going to try to think about what we're tasting, the textures, the flavor, how it affects your palate. So enjoy. Whole different flavor profile going on compared to the lemon. The lemon and lime are different citruses. They taste differently, but actually adding the chili with the lime has a real wonderful bright flavor to the chili, and also adds a wonderful brightness to the mango itself, which is great. Now what I'd like to do, in the same sort of fashion to test it around, is to taste the mango with a little bit of garam masala. Garam masala is a very interesting spice combination. Garam masala has peppercorns as well as fennel seed, cinnamon, and cardamom. So I'm going to take a little pinch of the garam masala and place that, okay, get that mixed in. Okay, and giving this a taste. Again, these are all unripe that we're tasting, so actually you can taste them and taste around in this variety. I love the flavor going on here. A little bit of crunch to the unripe mango, a lot of texture to it, as well as it brings up the highlights, the spiciness of the garam masala. It's a sweet spice, actually. So using the sweet spice with the sort of tartness of the mango gives you a nice little balance that will work really well in cooking. I could see using this garam masala with a nice roasted chicken with mango. Real simple, real easy. And now we're going to move on to ripe mangoes. So to start off on this ripe mango, I'm going to focus in on this first with a little bit of lime juice, as well as a little bit of chili powder. Okay, we've done this before earlier, and you actually, if you'd like to, you can taste back into the earlier tasting with the unripe. But we're going to mix in that chili powder with lime and give this a taste. Okay. Lots of tropical flavor, works real well, and flavor as well as just everything that we've got going on with the mango, with the chili added into it and the lime juice. Really three-dimensional. It brings out the flavor of the mango. You taste the chilies. This is a really wonderful flavor. It also starts to stay in your mouth, which makes it more interesting. As food flavors linger, like the mango flavor lingers in your palate, it just makes it a lot more interesting in flavors and texture. To move on in this little tasting aromas, we're going to now add a little garam masala to this next bowl. And this is like a sort of tropical adventure that we're doing here, going from one spice area to another, taking the garam masala, which is really wonderful, a lot more sweeter than the chili powder is, so we're going to taste that. The garam masala with the ripe mango is wonderful. Just got a lot of flavor coming from the mango. It works real well. It adds a lot of interest, the spiciness with the mango. You'll see that throughout. Spices are absorbed into the mango flavor. It enhances the mango flavor. So often when we talk about mangoes, we talk about the tropical flavors, the tropical ambrosia. And so here what I want to do is I want to add in that sort of tropical flavor into our ripe mango. With that, simply just some toasted macadamia nuts, also a little bit of coconut. All these we think of as tropical flavors, and some golden raisins, which actually will add a depth of sweetness to it, and that's kind of why we mix it in that sort of fashion. So, real easy. Now the same, this is a nice ripe mango with the coconut and all. Wow, I love this. This really brings out the flavor of the mango. The tropical nuttiness, the coconut, the raisins add some nice depth to it. And that's what's so interesting about using ripe mango and applying different spices to it. Okay, so now we're going to go on to our next, which is actually very ripe mango. What we're going to do is add in, again, the same sort of flavor profile. So I'm going to start off with some lime juice on the mango, as well as a little bit of chili powder. And going to mix that in. Okay, I think we're going to see and discover a little bit different flavor going on here. So I'm going to take a taste of this. Again, being very ripe, it's going to be soft. Soft on the palate, very tasty. Lots of big flavor going on here. Lots of aromas, actually, with the sweetness of this mango. Because it's soft and lush, it carries the chili really well. It has a lot of flavor to it, and it really brings out the chili component, but it also lasts on your palate very nicely. Going on with the same sort of profile that we're doing here, and going to add some garam masala here to our next dish. Going to mix the garam masala in with the very ripe mango, and going to taste the very ripe with the garam. I have a long lingering tropical mango flavor in my mouth. Lots of great flavors. Lots of nose of the perfumes of the mango come through. Really nice. I think it's enhancing the sweetness through the spice here. So that really works very well. Now what I'd like to do is take a look at the very ripe mango, again with all the sort of adding those tropical flavors of the nuttiness, the toasted macadamia nuts, as well as some coconut here, and some golden raisins. And you know what? This looks great. I could have this for dessert right now, but we're going to use this for a tasting, so we're going to mix this in and give that a taste with this sort of tropical flavor. The nuttiness really comes through between the coconut and the macadamia nut. I love the flavors with the very ripe mango. Works really nicely. The raisins give it a little bit of a depth. And here, this you can take this, as I said, just eating it just wonderfully combined together. Or take the same mixture and put it onto some ice cream. Or you can cook it into a very simple chutney. Really easy way of approaching it. And that's really what I want to talk about and have you experience. The whole difference between the mango when it's very ripe, when it's ripe, or when it's firm and delicious as well. Well, I'm glad you let me share this experience with you. Mangoes are wonderful. I'm a mango lover as well as a chef, and I hope that you've been able to excite your palate with mangoes. For more info on mangoes, go to mango.org.